If you're limited on time, save this video. I'll be going over a quick warm-up and workout that you can incorporate into your routine to kick off your fitness. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start off with our warm-up. We're gonna need a few pieces of equipment. We're gonna need a bench, a kettlebell, and an ab mat. The first exercise, we're actually gonna go kind of nice and slow. We are going to do a couch stretch. This is a modified version. And the reason I like this is because as I get into the stretch position, I don't have to worry about my ankle being completely extended versus doing it against the wall. So the wall version is great. I absolutely love it. But today we're using a bench. So you can use bench or couch, whatever you might have. We're going to use an ab mat. I use this for my knee. And we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. So we might not exactly hold it for today for 30 seconds, but we'll keep a running clock of this. So in this position, you're creating a 90-degree angle with your front leg. Back leg, knees underneath your hip as much as you can. Ankles kind of at a slightly extended position here. And then from here, you can kind of focus on tucking your pelvis under, releasing, tucking your pelvis under, or you can squeeze your butt for 3 seconds and then release, squeeze your butt for 3 seconds and release. You can also lunge into that position as well. That might help elongate it. We're gonna hold for 30 seconds on one side, and then we're gonna go to 30 seconds on the other side, which is right about now. The focus here is to open up our hip a little bit, as well as our quad. And you may notice that one side is tighter than the other. So for myself, my right side's a little tighter. I typically like to try to stay on that right side. So same thing here. I can lunge into this position. I can even lunge and reach up and back with my arms. That's an extend that position. I'm also gonna lengthen, and it will be a little more intense if you are really tight. So just find whatever modification works for you. Again, squeeze the butt for 3, 2, 1, release, or again, tuck the pelvis under and release. All right, so that was 30 seconds of that couch stretch on each side. We're then gonna switch, or gonna come sit on our bench, and we're gonna do a figure 4. So today's mobility focus is going to be a little bit on our hips, and then we'll get a little bit of the upper body. So we're gonna take this kettlebell, we're gonna place it just above the knee joint, so not on the knee joint, but just below, or above, excuse me. And again, we're gonna do 30 seconds of this position, hold here. This is a figure 4 position. I like this because we're elevated and I can control the position of how far forward I want to lean in. If this is too much with the bell, you take the bell off and then you just hinge forward. But the bell is going to add a little bit of weight. I like to hold the bottom of the bell. You can also hold the handle, and you're just focusing on pushing forward. My other ankle, other foot, right, my right foot, I'm creating a 90-degree angle here, and I'm just using this kind of as support as I hinge forward. So we'll do 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch opposite side. So today's focus, like I said, we're going to do a little bit of hips. Ooh-wee. So you can obviously tell, hopefully you can tell, my knee and my hip on my right side is a lot tighter. So getting in this position, I feel it a lot more. I need to kind of not necessarily push on the bell, but maybe alleviate a little bit of weight. 30 seconds here, and again, you can hinge forward. The hinge forward is going to help open up the hip a little bit more. Glutes. This is a great exercise. If you sit a lot, this is great for the external rotation of that hip joint. Beautiful, good. All right, so that was 2 exercises for our lower body. Now we're gonna go to our upper body. We'll use that bell here in a second. We're gonna place our palms on top of the bench here. I can even place my forearms if I want a little bit more, but I'm gonna do an elevated puppy dog. So my knees are underneath my hips, and I'm gonna drop my forehead, chest down, and we're gonna try to hold this for 30 seconds. So I may come up out of it, just look at my clock, but notice that I'm very broken in my rib cage. If I tuck my pelvis and tuck my rib cage, I come into a hollow position. That is great if you want a little extra stretch, but for today I'm trying to break in that rib cage, extend my pelvis, extend my rib cage, and sink into this. I'm kind of pushing my forearms slightly into the bench here. We have about 10 more seconds. Again, great exercise if you need to open up your thoracic spine, your mid-back, upper back, your chest, torso. We're gonna do a more intense stretch after this. Good, we're slowly gonna come up. We're now gonna place our elbows on the bench. Clasp our hands together. I'm gonna move the mic so hopefully you guys don't hear my throat. But now I'm gonna clasp my hands together, drive my forehead and chest down, bring the palms together if I can at the base of my neck. And then the same thing here. I can break in that rib cage like I have right here, or if I want, I can even tuck my rib cage, tuck my pelvis, intensify that stretch. So we're looking to open up that angle from our elbow to our tricep, to our shoulder, to our lat. So notice that I'm almost completely open. I'm a little tight today, but we're focusing on holding that position. Again, 30 seconds for every stretch here. These are all static stretches. We will do a few dynamic ones here in a second to get started. We're slowly gonna come on out and then come back up. All right, so the next static stretch is going to be a press with a bell, and then we're gonna do a twist and rotate a little bit. So we're gonna get a little more rotation with our body. So I'm gonna grab my bell, I'm gonna come into this front rack position, I'm gonna press it up. We're gonna do 10 presses, just nice and easy. we are going to do this as a warm-up weight. So pick a load that's relatively easy for you. If you guys are new here, please subscribe, please share with others, and hopefully feel free to leave a comment below how you find this beneficial and helpful, and hopefully you'll share with others that also find it beneficial and helpful. All right, I think that was about 10. It's hard to talk and count at the same time. All right, and then same thing. Notice I'm creating this front rack position with my arm, and then I'm pressing kind of up and out. 3, my lower body's engaged. I'm squeezing my butt, quads, abs, all tight. I think that was 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. I'm gonna go back to that right side. We're now gonna do a windmill. So I'm gonna get into a nice wide straddle with my hand just to show you from profile. I'm keeping the bench here because I feel comfortable, but I recommend doing this with nothing around you. So in case you feel off balance, you don't stumble and fall on anything. So I'm gonna press that bell overhead, palms gonna face or up towards the sky and rotate back. So thumbs kind of facing back, eyes are on the kettlebell or hand. I'm finding my thigh, sliding all the way down, hip popped, if you guys heard that. Oh my God, that's hilarious. And then we're gonna go all the way down to my ankle and then back up. I think it's 2. We're gonna do 10 repetitions here. 3, 4, 5. We're just gonna do 1 round of this. 6, 7, so we're gonna get shoulder stability. 8, as well as core and lower body stretch. 9, and 10. And then if you guys do have a watch or anything on your wrist, make sure you turn it around. So same thing, press the bell overhead, palm up, thumb kind of rotated back towards my external, so back behind me, eyes on the kettlebell, find my thigh, slide down, and then come back up. So as we do this, I'm trying to keep my wrist stacked over my shoulder, bells on the back of my forearm. And then as I'm pivoting, notice that I'm not just like leaning to the side, my hips shoot to the left slightly, and then I'm leaning to the right as I perform this on the side. On the opposite direction, it goes opposite way. So again, shift slightly, and I'm trying to keep my legs completely straight as I perform this exercise. This is a windmill, kettlebell windmill. I absolutely love it. It helps for shoulder stability as we're trying to isolate that bell overhead, as well as some dynamic rotation of our torso and a little bit of lower body stretch. Maybe 1 more. Beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna come back down. Good. And then we're just gonna do some dynamic for the lower body. Again, we're gonna do 30 seconds of this. So notice that most of our exercises have been 30 seconds, so it's been a set time. Those last 2 ones were reps. So we had a set number of reps we were gonna complete. Again, just 1 round of that. We're now gonna go back to the 30 seconds, and we're just gonna do some dynamic for our lower body. So we're gonna take a nice big step on top of that bench. I'm gonna reach my hands up and back, hold for a second, and then come back in. And same thing, you're doing 30 seconds of this, alternating sides. If you feel inclined, that back leg, you can go into your tippy toes to the balls of the feet. That's gonna help open up the hip a little bit and allow you to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Reach into it, good. The focus of the reach is to elongate your upper body and actually accentuate that stretch in that hip flexor as well as rib cage and allow you to get nice and long, good. Just alternating legs, a little bit of dynamic exercise. I like a combination of static, meaning you're holding that position like we did earlier, as well as dynamic. Great repetition and great set to do. All right, so today we're actually gonna do a full body superset. So that's our quick warm up. We're gonna get to a lower body and upper body. So we're going to do a Bulgarian split squat, one of my favorite exercises. We are gonna go today, we're gonna go a little lighter in the reps. Weights wise, we're just gonna use the same kettlebell that I had. I typically will do dumbbells, but today we're using a light kettlebell and we're gonna go higher reps. So we're gonna go 15 reps on each leg, and then we're superset that with the upper body movement, so stay tuned for that. So first exercise, and we're actually gonna change it up a little bit. I like to hold typically 2 dumbbells. We're actually gonna go with that 1 leg out in front. So there's a couple different guides to find out where you should be. We can either do 1, 2, 3, right? So 3 feet of that leg that's bent or that's stable in front, and then our back leg or ankle joint is right at the edge of the bench. And then as I want to sit down, I want to think of sending my butt back and down as my torso comes forward, and then I press up and extending to that midfoot. So we're flexing or we're bending at both our hip or knee joint, butt going back, and then I'm coming forward. The other way that I recently saw, if you're sitting on the bench or box, right, you can extend your legs out, place that 1 leg down, and extend that back leg on the back. Now, if you look at this position, it's pretty similar to the 3 feet away, right? I might be a little bit further away. I'm gonna have a little more of a vertical shin here. I have a little more weight on that back leg here. So again, once you find something that's comfortable for you, I'm just giving you guys the tools that you can utilize for your training. Find what feels so comfortable and stable. We are working the quad, we are working the hamstring, we are working the glute here. I typically feel this in the glute when I do these. All right, so you're gonna get, I kind of have an idea of where I'm at, and I can gauge as I perform these exercises that if I need to change my position, I can. So today we are gonna be using the kettlebell in the opposite hand. So my left leg is down, right leg has my bell, I'm gonna push my butt back, bell's gonna touch, and then I'm gonna come all the way back up. Now, if I had the dumbbells, my dumbbells most likely typically don't touch the ground. So just something to think about. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can tell you already this is gonna be spicy. 7, 8. You don't have to get the bell to touch if you don't want. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So again, go lighter. This is a 18-pound bell, not too bad, but I'm doing just 118. Typically I'll do like 225s, like 25 dumbbell in each hand, or 30. 2, now we switch legs. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's hard to talk with these. 7, 8, and my legs are tired. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Oh, spicy meatballs. All right, so that was our first exercise. Now the superset means we're gonna go straight into the next exercise. So we're gonna grab a dumbbell, or you can use a kettlebell. Since I have access to a dumbbell, I'm just gonna use this one. And we're going to get into our second exercise. Our second exercise is for upper body. This is a dumbbell bench lat pullover. Another one of my favorite exercises. So 2 favorites together. Who would have thought? So for the bench lat pullover, you're gonna have your rib cage on top of the bench or box. Bench is ideal, box would be near impossible, so we'll just say bench. Hips are down. I'm gonna grab my dumbbell. I should have set it up. I typically like to set up like so. Interlock my hands and thumb around the bell, or the dumbbell, excuse me. My shoulder blades are smack on top of the middle of the bench. I relax my head. Arms are relatively straight. I can have a slight bend on my arms here. If I have a slight bend, I'm gonna target more of my triceps. If I have more of a straight arm, I'm gonna target more of my lats. I do a hybrid because of my shoulder, my right shoulder, so I go as low as I can, and then I come back up. And I try to remind myself I drop my hips as I go down. I'm also really tight in my lats today. And we are gonna perform 10 reps of these. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, remember to breathe. 7, finishing on top of your face. 8, 9, and 10. Once you finish, grab the handle of the dumbbell and then bring it down to the floor. And then we're gonna make a split. So we're gonna rest about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on the time. If you're really pressed for time, you can rest a minute and blast through these sets. We're gonna do a total of 3 sets today. If you need a little more time, you feel like you need to recover a little bit more, you can rest 2 minutes, 90 seconds, and then again, we're gonna do a total of 3 reps. So 15 reps of Bulgarian split squats on each leg, and then 10 of the bench lat pullovers on your upper body. Now, the focus of this superset is to target some of your lower body and core, as well as your upper body and core. If you are pressed for time, do a full body superset split, meaning upper body, lower body, upper body. That allows you to hit at least each part of your body within that press time frame that you have. If you have more time frame, you could do lower, upper, or lower core, upper core, but the focus is to essentially get you in and out of the gym. If you guys found this kind of helpful and beneficial and need any questions or have any questions for myself, please feel free to leave a comment below. Please share with others. Hopefully find this beneficial. We are going to wrap up today's video, but feel free to get in your 2 additional sets for a total of 3 sets for today. Thank you guys for tuning in.